Hi everyone, how's it going? So in this video, we're going to talk about MMTLP. It has attracted lots of attention from traders, mostly because of the volatility that we expect that's going to happen anytime soon. And also because of the numbers that are really on the side of retail traders for once. As always, if you like what I do, please consider to drop a like, subscribe to my channel, and check out the links in the description. So before we start, I just want to make a brief disclaimer that might clarify what this video is for and what it's not. What is presented here is my opinion and my interpretation on what things, what they are, why they're like this, and what it's probably going to be. So they're not investment advised and they should be watched for entertainment purposes. They might be able to help you make better decisions, but they shouldn't be used as the only source of information, of course. Now, most of my analysis is done in the immediate past or just a few days before the uploading of those videos, and the price action might not reflect what you see by the time this video is uploaded. Nevertheless, I would say that it's still kind of relevant to analyze the past because it often gives us hints about the future. And also, given that we trade those stocks, we trade the swings over a few weeks, I would say that, the immediate short-term price action don't always matter that much. Also, the analysis tries to cover the stock as comprehensively as possible, and it's going to talk about more factors than just the latest news or the price actions. For instance, we're going to talk about the company's financials, the market trends, the long-term perspectives at times. In the case of MMTLP, though, I would say that these factors are of lesser importance. In fact, it's not going to matter that much over the next couple of days. And it's also going to be a mostly short-term perspective because the stock is likely going to stop trading after December 13th. And we're going to talk about more of these in just a second. Recently, it was announced that MMTLP would go through a merger and that as a consequence, there would be a major change to the short positions. It's interesting to see that now that the S1 has been improved, MMTLP can take its price to completely new level. The general mood is very positive, joyful even. And they expect that the shorts are going to cover real quick and that, this will essentially cause the MMTLP price action to skyrocket. Now, over the past few days, the stock price initially stayed around the $7 level and suddenly jumped upward by 16% on Tuesday, above the $8 mark, which is a significant push given the past few days' relative calm. Some have estimated that it's a calm before the storm, and others, myself included, also feared that there could be some last-minute surprises, and the nasty ones. There seems to be more details coming out now about what's going to happen with MMTLP shares in the short term, and it basically comes down to the following. MMTLP will be rendered, in my opinion, rendered useless after December 13th. This would have the brokers forcing those who still have the short positions to redeem their shares, which would act like a huge stock squeeze that we have hoped for since the beginning. So online discussions suggest that there is a high amount of optimism regarding the future of MMTLP due to the short squeeze for the most part. And also because, the perspective of this merger is very, it gives people a good vibe. It gives enough meat to the bone for the narrative to continue blossom in people's mind, and as a result, those who have shorted the stock previously would be highly exposed, and not only that, be part of the play. So now the fact that MMTLP is doing well, by the way, may also benefit the stock that it was spun out from, which is MMAT, Metamaterial, as the shareholder base is mostly similar, in my opinion, and people very often tend to these two together for good reason as well. With that being said, though, it doesn't mean that those two are going to see the same kind of gains, but that MMAT might also enjoy some new spikes in the share price. Now, long story short, the main play here is, of course, the short squeeze. A short position is open with borrowed shares from brokers and have to be paid back at a later date, hopefully when the share prices go down. As long as the positions remain open, the company would have to eventually pay back the financial fees to keep them down. Now, the reason why I say companies here is because I think that they're institutional traders. So, based on like online sources, I think that there are between 1 to 5 million shares, which is still like a significant chunk of the shorts that are not redeemed at the moment. The vast majority of those shares are probably going to have to redeem in a bit, and they are the potentials for the takeoff. If the share price goes up, there would be a major incentive to redeem the shares as fast as possible, which is basically what happened from a fundamental perspective with the S1 approval. The shorts will be compelled to close because the price will get higher, and that the price will get, significantly higher in theory in the days to come. Another factor that goes in favor of the short squeeze is the sharp increase in the trading volume. This would suggest that those who are long the stock will now have to once again be pushing the stock up and also squeezing the short sellers out and send the shares to much, much higher price levels. So my recommendation based on these factors is that I believe that MMTLP is going to remain bullish overall, but we should expect some, sporadic pullbacks to give the bull some additional oxygen to make a comeback later. MMTLP is considered to be a trading stock for sure, and it has the potentials to make substantial gains in short term. For people who really believe in this stock, I would say that, you should really have a position, maybe not adding to the position now, but if your exposure is below 0.5, I would say that you can have another 0.5% to be added to your portfolio from now till maybe like tomorrow or the day after. So the maximum exposure I would recommend is between 1 to 3%. 3% would be a maximum. Usually I would recommend to go with 1%.